Hello there, everyone. My name is Zakia Ringgold, and we have a very, very, very special broadcast. But the very first thing that we're going to do is shout out our Stowe Rocks family. How are you? How are you? If you are brand spanking new to me, or you are catching this on the replay because you're not able to catch us live, you can always leave a comment right down below. But my name is Zakia Ringgold. I am the owner of Live Soap School, where it just so happens to be so much more than soap. Last week, we made a batch of soap. Love your broadcast. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Very happy to have you here. Listen, guys, if you love these broadcasts, make sure that wherever you are watching, you do click that subscribe button. You do click that follow button and also the share button. That helps us to make sure the message goes a little bit further. Latanya is saying, hey girl. Are you in the house, Latanya? I'm hoping all of you are staying home and staying well. And of course, washing your hands with soap and water. So, if you are new to me, again, my name is Zakia Ringgold. I am the owner of both Live Soap School as well as Natural Soap by Zakia.com. And we have these DIY Thursdays where I come to you and I show you a couple of ways that you can make some stuff at home. Let's see. Rose is saying, hey, hey, hey. Tina is saying, hey, y'all. Wait, let me get Tina up there. Hey, Tina, how are you over there on the YouTube side? Long time no see. My scope got deleted. No scope. Wayne is here saying, hey, from Baraka Shea Butter Land. We will be actually using my shea butter that I made by hand, guys, when I was in Ghana. So we'll be showing you how to make a body butter with that shea butter. Latanya said, yes, ma'am. Yes, in the house. We're washing our hands. We're staying home. We're sharing the broadcast and all that other fun stuff. But if you have not been here, this is not your regular broadcast. This is not like your pre-recorded videos where you're just kind of watching me. I expect you guys to talk to me as well. Hopefully the sound comes across pretty clear. I do want to give you all a round of applause. Wait a minute, did it go? I hope it went. I can't hear it. Did you guys hear my round of applause for all of you? That's because you're here. Why? You're here live. Sequestered in Baltimore. Hey there, Lucy. Good to see you. Rose as well. Okay, so I have a little bit of an announcement. I was the creator of the world's very first virtual soap summit. And those replays are now available. It was 2 full days, 14 hours of bath and body education. And if you are wondering, how can I make my own soap? How can I make my own lotion? How can I live stream? How can I set up an online store? How can I podcast? And more and more and more and more. You can head over to summit.livesoapschool. Let me bring it up there for you so you don't have to try and remember like how you spell that. That's how you spell it. Right there. Go over there. You can see there were over 13 speakers that taught for 2 days. Our net promoter score is 98%. And I know a lot of you are like, what are you talking about, net promoter score? Well, there is an industry average out there. And it tells you how people typically rate going to live events, online events, and all of that. And that's based on surveys and what people say after they leave your event. Well, our net promoter score is a 96 or a 98. The industry average for events and conferences is 56. So they loved us and they learned a lot. So kids hate it, but I love the inside. You need real shea butter. I actually have some on Live Soap School. Go to livesoapschool.com. There's some in the shop. Okay, here is what I want to show you guys. Are you ready? Let's take you guys over to the soap cam. Are you ready? Somebody put a 1 in the comments so that I know that you are ready. We're going to do 2 things on this broadcast. Number 1, you watched me make soap last week. You watched me make that soap last week. So hopefully you were at home. Hopefully you were at home and you said, you know what? She gave us the recipe. I watched her do it. I'm going to try it as well. If you did that, you may be saying, okay, now I got this soap. How do I cut it? So I'm going to show you how to cut your soap. There's several options. You know we love options. So I'm going to show you what the soap came out to be, then what you can use to cut it, and then we're going to make our very own body butter, because you're at home and you're probably wondering, what in the world? How can I do it? Because I can't go to the store. I don't feel like putting my mask on and my gloves on. If you're in the house, you can make it at home. All right, and we have two of our speakers. Several of our speakers are here. Shout out to Carletta. She is the bath bomb queen with the mostest. Connie was another one of our speakers who taught us how to make lotion in a very simple process to follow. And Latanya, Lucy, all of you are giving me those ones. And Kim is actually the inspiration for this, because she taught us how to make body butter with a butter called Kapawasu. Say it with me, guys. Kapawasu. None of us knew how to say it. Marilyn actually taught us how to say that during the live summit. Let's see. Donald is saying, with a chainsaw. Are you kidding me right now? No chainsaw needed. All right. So let me bring you guys over to the soap cam, because I have seen several of those ones. Oh, what happened? Possible audio feedback. Sound effects are playing on the Mac's built-in speakers. Okay. Let's try that again. Are you guys ready for a round of applause? That's our round of applause for the soap cam. I can get rid of, so I'm going to get rid of this link right down there. But if you would like to take the classes, guess what? They're available on replay. You can head over to summit.livesoapschool.com. And when you go there, you can see what all the talks were. There's a virtual ebook there that has recipes, resources, tools, and everything for you. Alrighty, so you guys got the round of applause? All right, awesome. It worked, because the first time it didn't. So now we are looking at the soap cam. And with the soap cam, number one, I have laid out all of our jars that we will be using today for our body butter. But here are the 2 loaves of soap that we have made over the past broadcast. And as you can see, this one was the one where we had the purple and the blue, and then we also had like that cream color on the side. So we're going to cut that one today. And then this was a confetti soap. My mixture had gotten pretty thick with this one. Oh, you guys are sharing the broad. Look at this. Thank you all for sharing. Sharing is caring. That lets me know that you kind of enjoy the broadcast. So this one is a confetti soap that we did maybe about 2 weeks ago. It is pretty hard right now. It is pretty hard. But we put shreds of the soap inside and on top. Now, because my mixture was thick, you can see that we may get a little bit of separation when we cut it. It's still beautiful. It still lathers. It still cleans. It's all aesthetic. It's all aesthetic. So when it comes time for cutting your soap, I mentioned you do have options. The very first option, where you don't have to spend a whole lot of cash, is your regular cooking knife. Hey, Miriam. Your regular cooking knife. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I need to connect with you because there is another opportunity here. Okay, so this is a regular knife that you can use. Everybody has a kitchen knife. You're only cutting soap. The soap is cured. There's no more lye on it, so there's no worry about using a knife. The only thing is you want to make sure that your knife has absolutely, positively no serrations on there, because if it has that, like little grooves in there, like a bread knife, then you might like that. It'll give you, I feel like I'm doing some stuff with the knife that I shouldn't be doing. Like the sit up. You like the setup? Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Hey, girl, yes, let me know. Okay, so you can start with a knife. When I first started making soap and cutting soap, I didn't have all the tools and the utensils that I have garnered over the years. So you can start with a kitchen knife. Another thing that you can use is a cheese slicer. The difficult thing with a knife is that you actually will have to have a very steady hand, and you're going to see that when I go to cut it just with a knife freehand, it's not going to be as straight as I would like it. If you have a steady hand and you have no problem cutting, go for it with the knife. Additionally, there are soap tools that are created for you. So this one is considered a multi-bar slicer. And you put the entire loaf inside of here, and then you lift it up and you pull it down. You lift it up and you pull it down. There's also an individual slicer that I have here, and you guys will be able to see that. So some people use a miter box, and what you do is you put your loaf of soap inside, kind of like so, and when you put it in there, you have a knife that you use to cut and push down. So we're going to do that here. Oh yeah, this soap has gotten hard. Ugh. There we go. And then you'll be able to see the inside of the soap as well. Oh my gosh, I need that. Now, here is one of those air bubbles. Remember, oh, look at that. That's pretty design, right? When you make your soap, remember when we were making the soap, we had to tap it a couple of times. If you don't tap it, you could end up with air bubbles. You see that pocket right there? It's a little hole. It's only aesthetic. Don't worry about it. But after you cut your bars, what you want to do is allow them to cure. Curing is going to allow any of the excess water to come out of the soap. So we're going to go ahead and cut a few more bars of this. Now, what you could do is make a marking on your miter box or martyr box, whatever you want to call it there. You can put a marking on here so that each of your bars is the exact same size. So I'm going to just do one more of these, and then I'm going to show you the beauty of using a multi-bar slicer. Sarah is on here right now. Sarah Vincent. Sarah owns a company called Discount Soap Equipment, and they have some amazing equipment. Sarah, here's the thing. I didn't wash mine, so that's why we don't have it on here. However, they have multi-bar slicers that are incredible. Absolutely incredible. So here is that look. Do you guys see that? That looks like a bat or something flying up into the soap. And this came from our spoon swirl. That's all it was. It was just our spoon swirl that gave us that design on the inside. All right, so that's one way. You can use that miter box, or you can use a multi-bar slicer. And we'll show you that one. Now, here's the thing. I probably should have cut this a little bit sooner than I am right now. And I don't know how strong these wires are. This was a gift to me, so I'm not really sure that it's going to cooperate the way that I want. So I'm just going to try and tighten these up a bit. That is beautiful. Oh, I'm going to check her out. Yes, Discount Soap Equipment, guys. I got my heavy duty lye pitcher. Well, it's not a lye pitcher. I don't know the right word to call it. But it's for me to have a much safer space in my house to hold all of my lye water. I also got a soap cutter from them. I will be starting my Kickstarter very soon so that I can get my my heavy duty equipment to make these super large batches. If you are frozen, Lucy, try going out and coming in. Wait a minute. We are up to 120 of yous watching. If you have not said hello, if you are not checking in, I need to know that you're here so I can shout out your city. So let me know your name, where you are watching from. If it's your first time, put in a first time. Oh, the people that didn't want me to know they were watching, they disappeared. That number dropped real quick. Like, oh no, she can see. Don't worry. I can't see your name unless you put in a comment. I can't see your name. Don't worry. You don't have to leave because I said it. However, if you are watching, let me know you're watching so I can say, hey, 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 Lucy, is it fixed? All right, so we're going to put this right on here. And this, as Paige would say, is so satisfying. What you do, I don't know if you guys watch those soap cutting videos on YouTube, but you just push down, and what that does is it slices each of the bars, and each bar is even. You guys see that? So just like that, and then you get all of the bars that are the exact same size. You don't have any mismatched pieces, but I got a whole lot of air pockets in there. Hey, Zakia, Black Soul Butch, thank you for checking in. We love Soap Lady Z. More on More on this side. Yes, Baltimore loves Soap Lady Z for sure. Thank you for checking in, Big Duke. All right. Then we have this one here. I am loving these swirls. That almost looks like two turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. So just by using your spoon, what we showed you the other week, this is how the soap turns out. So you have your various colors. You have all of that. And what you do is you just use your spoon and allow the soap gods to do what they will with your creations. So who we have? Mallory, first time here from Marcellus, New York. Well, welcome to the broadcast. If you are watching over there on Stowe Rocks, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching on Live Soap School or Facebook or YouTube or wherever, I am very happy to have you here. And so that's the inside of that one. They came out absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Thank you. Yes, Kim. Because you know me and my vocabulary doesn't work so well. And so yes, it's the lye tank. Thank you. We have lots of different sizes, heated and non-heated storage only. So you got all your lye in one container so you can master batch it. Master batch. Batch is what I'm saying. Got it? Because we run a clean broadcast, one of the cleanest broadcasts on the internet. Not only because we make soap, but we make sure we keep it clean in the comments as well as in whatever I'm saying out of these lips here. All right, and everybody, please go ahead and welcome Mallory to Soap Nation. This is her first time here. We are a very welcoming group. So they're all going to say, hello, Mallory. You may not see them all depending on which platform you are watching on. However, they're all saying, hello. Is it me you're looking for? All that. All right, so I will show you what the inside of these look like. But first, let's go ahead and cut our confetti soap. Now, this was the soap where we took shreds of the other soaps that we had made and just put them on the inside of this soap. So as you can see, Kim is saying, hey, Mallory. And Latanya is also saying, hey, Mallory. Welcome to Soap Nation. Alrighty. So now what we'll do is we will put our second batch on here. Oh, and I should just show you. If you did want to cut with a knife, because that's what most of you will have at home is a knife. You don't have this equipment yet, but you'll get it. I'm telling you, if we can make a believer out of you to make your soap, you will get the equipment that is needed. What you would do is you would just take your knife and cut down. Cuts a little bit like butter, but not quite, because it does get hard. We want it to get hard. That's exactly what we want. And then you have a slice. Now, as you can see, this is why I never use a knife anymore. This is why I absolutely positively never use a knife, because it goes to very thin. Like, who can use that? Nobody. Nobody. So I do have much better luck with the multi-bar cutters. All right. So let's go ahead and put this in there. And we'll pull down. Ugh. You got to put a little bit of elbow grease in it. We often say when you are a soap maker, there is absolutely positively no reason to go to a gym, because you're going to be working it out. Mixing up your soap, lifting your soap, cutting your soap, whipping your soap. All of those things, you won't need a gym, because your arms will be like, hey. So then, as you can see, we now have the confetti going right across the inside of the soap. It kind of looks like a feather that went across the inside of the soap. And it just gives it a little bit of character, and we didn't have to waste any of the soap. And Connie is saying, hello, Mallory. Welcome to Soap Nation. We also like to call it the addiction, but it's a good kind. So here is the inside of this one. You can kind of see it. And they're all, I'm just going to lay them out on this parchment paper. And then I'll bring them in view. And then we're going to get to whipping this body butter, because we can't be ashy just because we're in the house. We need to get moisturized. Moisturized and conditioned and cleaned. All right. So let's move this off to the side. Bam. Bam. And here is the soap that we made over the last couple of broadcasts. Looks like a good cheese. The weird piece become my bar to use. Yeah, I keep all of them. Like all of these little end pieces, I do a couple of things with the end pieces. So one, I do have soap sample bags that I sell where you get a pound of my ends. They're $20 and you pretty much get any of these little odds and ends pieces, but it's a variety pack. So if they just didn't cut right or it's just an end piece, that way you get a chance to try it. Kim said, my first equipment was a soap cut. My bars were wretched, guys. And I still sold them. People still brought them. People still loved them. Don't fall into the trap that it has to be this beautiful, beautiful thing. People want something that conditions their skin, that feels good without stripping the skin. So definitely use what you have got. Rose is checking in from Maryland. Hello there, Rose. How are you? So these are the bars. I wanted to come back this week because we made the soap last week and I figured, well, if you tried it, you probably wanted to know what to do with it after you got it out of the mold. Well, now you know. You can use a knife to cut it, or if you have a multi-bar slicer, you probably already knew how to cut it. But your very first thing that you should be using as you are getting started is a knife. That's all you need until you know that your recipes work, that you love the consistency of it. Don't go investing money in fancy stuff until you are sure that this is what you want to do. And the first way in knowing that this is what you want to do is if you are successful in making that batch of soap. So I hope this helps. And of course, I do have several books available that will help you as you are starting your soap making journey. Let me show you guys this right here. So I am the author of the new Soap Makers Cookbook series. They are available both on Amazon as well as my website of livesoapschool.com. And these books are written with the beginner in mind. So the very first book that I wrote is the new Soap Makers Cookbook, Ingredients for Success. You could really take the word soap out of this and it would apply to any craft. It's really about what is the mindset for being successful with your DIY craft. The second book in that series is the one that I recommend if you are trying to learn how to make soap. This one gets rid of all of the fluff and it gives you exactly what you need in terms of the tools that you need, the supplies, the ingredients, recipes that are very easy for you to make at home and be successful. I'm going to share a video with someone who attended the virtual soap summit this weekend. She made one of my recipes. It's the Bastille recipe. If you could see the lather that she got after washing her dishes, the recipe is in this book. And this one is making cold processed soap from scratch. There is another book. It is the Vegan Soap Cookbook, which is full of recipes for you to be able to make your own soap. And then if you're somebody that's going into business with it, this is my latest book, How to Make and Sell Soap. It has answers to the top 50 questions that any new soap maker that is going into business has. And now is a great time to make and sell soap. So we've told you all of that. Now, of course, we don't do any kind of clickbait on these videos. We are going to make a body butter. And so for us to do that, we're going to start out by getting some gloves on. You want to make sure that as you are making products at home, even if it's just for your family, wear those gloves. It's good manufacturing practices. Make sure your hands are clean to begin with in the beginning. But as you are using your various butters, you don't want to risk contaminating them with any ickies that you have on your hands. So getting yourself a nice pair of gloves might be a little difficult now, but you can use like those dishwasher gloves that you can go to Walmart or whatever local discount store is near you. And you just want to have something to protect your hands and the ingredients that you are going to use. Okay? All right, so we'll take you back to the soap cam. You guys ready? Here is the soap cam. Bam. Rose is still on there telling us, hey, hey, hey. Oh, it is a pretty purple. That purple was gorgeous. I agree. I agree. Now, as I mentioned to you all, if you are new to me, you may not know, but I traveled to Ghana in November. I met the amazing women who make the shea butter for Baraka Shea Butter. And I made this shea butter. So this is a very special batch of shea butter. I made this while I was there. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use about, I guess we'll do 10 ounces just to start with, maybe 16. We'll do 16 ounces so that we can make our own whipped body butter. So for this recipe, we'll be using some shea butter. I think it was Miriam who asked, somebody asked, I do have some shea butter available on my website at livesoapschool.com. You can go there and you can pick that up. So this recipe is going to include just some simple ingredients. We're going to use some shea butter. We're going to also use some grapeseed oil as well as some apricot kernel oil. This one here. And we're also going to use just a taste of arrowroot powder. And the reason we're going to use that arrowroot powder is so that we don't have as much of a greasy feel. Rose, yes, it's on the website. So we don't have as much of a greasy feel with our product. So that's all we're going to need. I'm going to grab my little scale. And I am going to use that same, I'm going to use this knife at this point to try and cut off some of the shea butter. Now, of course, you wouldn't have a chunk this big, but this one is very special, and it goes. Look at how it goes through there, guys. That was one of the best experiences of my life. If you were able to, well, you weren't able to, but I did share some videos while I was there. The work effort. Hey, Marlene, the work effort that these women put in to make this by hand using the traditional method. It is very straining on the back and all of that. And they do it with babies strapped on their back and they love it. They absolutely love it. So we're going to use 16 ounces of the shea butter. You can cut that in half. You don't need to use that much. Any recipe you can adjust to your liking. So I'm just cutting these off. And it's such a great consistency. My gosh. And I made this, guys. I made this. It's so exciting. So exciting. And I think just for the video, maybe we'll do 8 ounces instead of 16. That's 7. It's calling me. Not on duty. I swear, nobody called me all day. Nobody called me all day. Yeah, I'll mute my microphone. I promise nobody called. OMG, so smooth as a baby's bottom, Carletta. Smooth as a baby's bottom. So we're at 7.9. I think if I scrape off this knife, we'll get to the 8. Look at that. Don't you love when it just works out the way it's supposed to work out? All right, so we got 8 ounces of the shea butter. Now you could use coconut oil. You don't have to if you're at home and you're saying, Zakia, I don't have apricot kernel oil. Do you got olive oil? Do you have olive oil? Use olive oil. These are all up to you for what you want to use in there. So I'm going to add 1 ounce of the apricot kernel oil. And I have my scale on down here, so that's how I'm able to know the weight here. Now, there are several ways that people make their own body butter. You can make it your own. And then we're also going to do a 1/2 ounce of the grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is a fantastic oil because it's very similar to our skin's sebum. So we're going to add that in. Paige is upstairs jumping on her bed. I can hear her. But she knows I'm live streaming, so I'm not going to scream upstairs. Like, hey, cut it out. Cut it out. All right. So we have that. Now, I'm not going to add the powder in there, the arrowroot powder, until it's a little more blended. So we're then going to put this, I don't know how much blending I think I'm going to do. I have absolutely no whisk attachment. Hold on, guys. I think I got to give you a commercial break so I can get what I need in order to whip this up. I was almost 100% prepared. Almost. But I'm missing the most important thing, which happens to be the tool that we need for whipping it. I have the stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, like a KitchenAid, a lot of times, most people don't have a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer as well. I do have a new one I wanted to try out. All right, let me give you guys a video for a second. I have to go and get the attachment for our stand mixer. So here is a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back. Okay, I'm still not prepared. That commercial break was too fast. I still don't have my stuff. Darn it, Gina. I still wasn't ready. Hey, Drea. Hey, John. How are you? I still don't have my stand mixer. So talk amongst yourselves. Do all of that. I have to get it. I'm trying to put my eyes on it so I don't have you guys just staring into the abyss. But, you know, be kind. Talk to each other. Go wash your hands. Go do that. If it's been more than 20 minutes since the last time you washed your hands, now would be a good time, because Soap Lady Z said so. All right, found it. Got to get a little more organized. Somebody said, your space is so organized. I said, you don't understand. I make sure you see exactly what I want you to see on these broadcasts. Carletta is cracking up. And I love your hair. Thank you. No, Paige. If I call Paige down here, she's going to want to actually make the stuff with me. That's not what we want. So I'm going to put my attachment on. I'm going to put my bowl. You guys can't see what I'm doing because I got you on the wrong camera. That's all right. We'll switch it over to the soap cam. Okay. And we might want to plug this up because it doesn't work off of GP. And now we're going to whip it. Whip it good. Let me lock it. And so it'll slowly kind of like just do its thing. Unfortunately, you can't see directly into the bowl. I'm going to turn it up. And it's going to get really, really smooth. If you want it to get smoother, give it a little more time. But look how this whips. Let me turn it up a little bit more. And now that it's starting to get to the consistency that I want, now we will add the arrowroot powder in there. So this is about all that we're using. That's it right there. I'm going to tap it in. And just one more little, you know how your grandma says a pinch of this, a handful of that, a sprinkle of this, a sprinkle of that. Well, that's the measurement for the arrowroot powder. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. I'm going to turn that up just a bit. Now the camera is shaking. Gotta hold it. And hold it. And hold it. Now I'm going to turn it off for just 1 second. And the reason I'm going to turn it off is I want to scrape the sides of my bowl down, because as you are whipping, it likes to push it out to the side. You're also whipping air into it, so you want it to mix really well together. So I'm going to take this and kind of just go around to make sure that everything gets whipped beautifully together. There we go. Hey, hey, Dryer Buzz, our newest soap maker, right there. All right, so let's get this in, down we go. All right, and now we'll lock it in place and turn it back on. And encourage it to whip some more. Rose, you're not going to hear me over this. Hey, Drea, good to see you. Sorry for yelling in your ear. I know when I watch the replays, it's like, oh my gosh, Zakia, did it have to be so loud? No, but I was watching my first batch like a new baby, and then there will be more. No, that's not why. I'll go over the arrowroot powder in just a second. Okay, so because the comments and the questions are coming up, I think it was Rose who said, what is the arrowroot for? Drea is saying, hey. Miriam is saying, is it because you're using shea butter that you did not melt first? And hey, Zakia, watching you while standing in line at the store 6 feet away. Dryer Buzz, who is our newest soap maker. She was a speaker, but she was also an attendee at the Virtual Soap Summit, and she made her first batch of soap. She made, and I mean, we were in DMs back and forth, but to see her unveiling it, and she was like, it's melting! It goes through a gel phase, but that's how I read it when she said it. And of course, we are saying congratulations and welcome to the addiction. What's up, Sarah? Laura, hi, how are you? Okay, so arrowroot powder. The reason why we're using the arrowroot powder is sometimes when you have a bunch of butters and a bunch of oils. Now, shea butter will go right into your skin. However, I also added the apricot kernel oil. I added the grapeseed oil because I want those benefits in my butter. However, it could become a little bit slippery and also give it a greasy feel. So to cut down on that greasy feel, we're using just a pinch or a little twinkle of the arrowroot powder. So I'm going to whip this for 2 more seconds, maybe about 5 minutes. You can whip it longer. The longer you whip it, the more air will go into it. And can you see that creamy consistency that is happening over there? Hi from Switzerland. Hello, Zen Squad. Very good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Uh-oh. I forgot. The camera is shaking. The table is shaking and the camera is shaking. You guys going to get dizzy in a minute. All right, let me turn that off. Now, if you want to leave this 100% natural, you most certainly can, right? And I am going to leave this one 100% natural, but you can also add scent to it. Let me lift this up so you can see the consistency. And it looks like I got a chunk of shea butter that did not get whipped. It got whipped into the beaters. Darn it. I'm going to use, and this is why you want to use gloves, guys. But let me show you a little bit of the consistency. Is that not the smoothest? Oh my gosh. With just 4 ingredients. We use the grapeseed oil, the shea butter, the apricot kernel oil, and the arrowroot powder. And just like that, we have taken it from the really thick block of shea butter to a moisturizing body butter. Now I'm going to whip this a little bit more because as you see, there is a piece of my shea butter that decided to go up into my blades and not actually get whipped. And I need all of it to get whipped because that's the part of the recipe. Like, I don't want 2 ounces of shea butter in my recipe. I don't want 2 ounces of shea butter in my recipe. I want the whole 8 ounces that we use. So let's get it whipped now. And I'm just going to let it do it slow. You never have to rush your body butters, guys. The more time that you allow it, that's the more love you get to put into the product that you're making. And Carletta is saying it looks like whipped cake icing. Zen is saying that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely is. And so as soon as this kind of gives me the impression that it is all whipped, I'm going to put it in a jar. And I'm going to put it on the body. and put it on my kid's body. But this is one of the best things that you can use to moisturize and hydrate your skin. The one thing that everybody can do, body butter or not, to hydrate your skin is drink more water. This just wants to be disrespectful. So I got something for this. I got something for it. You gonna bang it off. All I want to do is taste it. I know, Miriam, but we can't. Everything that we make in this room is not edible. As you can see, I still have a shea butter chunk, but I don't want to turn the mixer on very, very high. So I'm just going to put that off to the side for just a moment. You would not have to do that. You would just mix it until it was whipped inside. And now, as you can see, we have made ourselves the most amazing body. But look at that. Somebody look at it. Somebody look at this. Hey, Zakia, Philly in the house. Without a doubt, it's Philly in the house. This could actually be whipped for a few more minutes. I am trying to rush it because I don't want this broadcast to go on forever. But that's just not good quality control there. So I'm going to whip it a little bit more, and I think I am going to go ahead and add a fragrance to it while it's whipping. So let's give that about 2 more minutes of whipping, and I can answer your questions. Can you guys hear me okay over the mixer? When we were in the summit this past weekend, whenever the mixers went on, the sound went down. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right. I have a lemon pound cake fragrance, and we are loving everything about lemon. So that's the one that my eye went to. That's the one that we're going to use. Now, you typically would measure out your fragrance to make it body safe using the manufacturer's suggestions, but I'm going to go by this nose. This nose is going to tell me when I have put enough in. And so I'm just going to pour it in. And now you're really going to want to eat this because it smells like a lemon pound cake. So imagine getting out of the shower, right? You're getting out of the shower and you're like, oh, I got to put something on my body. And then you have this. Don't do it if you're hungry because it's like, I'm going to just taste it and see. Although every ingredient in there is edible. Every single ingredient is edible. Where do you buy now? Lemon pound cake. Well, this was just for the broadcast. I am going to start making the broadcast ones that we make available. So it'll be a live special. This is only 1 jar. Man, I have been watching my replays of the summit for the past 4 days. I can't get enough. That was an amazing summit, guys. If you are interested in making your own natural skincare at home, or if you are somebody who thinks, hey, I want to kind of sell this thing that I do online, the virtual soap summit is for you. I promise it is one of the, and I go to a lot of conferences. I was blown away by what the speakers were able to do at that conference. Blown away. And let me see. Let's give you a DJ air horn. Crack myself up sometimes. All right. There is the link if you want to go to the virtual soap summit. All of the replays are there as well as the virtual ebook. Our show sponsor is Anata Market. They're actually an essential oil company, and they offer a 20% discount for anybody as a part of Soap Nation. You can use the code Soap Summit 2020, and they'll give you 20% off of your order. I can see your name. We definitely need, well, I'm right here. And there's so many. All right. And we got a new one. Yolanda. She's a new soap maker. Sorry for the tapping. That is not ASMR that we got going on. And my nose knew correctly. That stuff smells good. Good. Now, Typically, you would get yourself a piping bag or a plastic bag. You can put your body butter in that. I'm not going to do that. This is going to get a little bit messy because I'm just going to use a spatula to scrape it out of here and put it into the jar. If you were doing several jars, then I just tap it in, kind of like that. Pages and and then I'm just scraping it inside of the jar. Whoa.
Did you make that while I was upstairs?
I sure did.
Whoa.
Whoa. Smell. Tap her down.
Mom, that's probably...
Sorry for the banging, guy.
Mom, that's
You gotta scrape the top off.
Mom, that's probably the first way how I probably knocked the table down.
Yes, Paige has knocked this table down. What is the name of the essential oil company? It is Anata Market. I will put it in here. Who do we get the business contact? Cas Valdez. Okay, so some of you are just now joining. Some of you have been here for the entire ride, which is absolutely fantastic. So I should probably tell you a little bit about who I am, what we're doing, and all of that fun stuff. Well, number one, my name is Zakia Ringgold. I am the owner of Live Soap School, where it is so much more than soap. Our goal is to raise the bar on economic opportunity for 1 million people through natural skincare and digital technology. I recently hosted the first virtual soap summit, which was a 2-day conference completely online but live, where we taught people how to make soap, lotion, body butters, bath bombs, how to set up their online store, how to live stream, how to podcast, and how to just show up authentically as yourself as a business owner. Additionally, hold on, Paige, I am the owner of Natural Soap by Zakia, where I make all of my products by hand, and we typically do it live. Those products have now shipped to over 17 countries and all over the United States. Don't eat it. Okay. And all over the United States. They're available by going to my website, which is naturalsoapbyzakia.com. Additionally, I offer online classes where you can learn how to make soap with me. I happen to be a certified soap maker and an author of the new Soap Makers Cookbook series. And so that's a little bit about who I am. You're joining us on a DIY Thursday, where we are showing you just some things that you can make at home for yourself, for your family. Start a new hobby. There's no reason to be bored at home. You can make your own natural skincare. Tonight's episode was all about making your very own whipped body butter. And we use 4 basic ingredients that you should be able to get your hands on. One of them is shea butter. We use the shea butter that I used, or that I made, when I traveled to Ghana in November. Then we also added some apricot kernel oil as well as some grapeseed oil. Both of these oils are fantastic for the skin. They provide conditioning and nourishment. So it's a great combination with the shea butter. But sometimes people don't like the feel of it. They don't want it to stay on their skin. If it was just shea butter that we whipped, we would not need to add the arrowroot powder. But because we added those additional oils to it, there is a chance that it could feel a little bit greasy. To cut down on that, we added just a pinch of the arrowroot powder. Yes, there's always a replay. All right, let's see. What did I miss? The best summit this year. Go and purchase those replays. You won't regret it. Best decision she's ever made. Johnny is saying, hey, Johnny, all the way from the other side of the pond. I'm doing very well. Angeline is saying, awesome. Yeah, I've had them sent to me in Manchester, UK. He was one of those countries that we shipped to. Canada seems to be coming up on the list, but Europe, there's a lot of countries in Europe that are getting Natural Soap by Zakia. I don't know how simple that'll be now, though. Before where we are right now, I was able to ship quite a bit outside of the country. I don't know how that's working now. Carletta is giving us a round of applause, and I'm also going to turn around and give you all a round of applause for sticking out for all this time. Oh, it doesn't want to work. Oh, I muted the sound effects. Darn it. Let's try it again. That's for all of you being amazing and joining in on this broadcast. Angelique says, I will definitely watch the replay. I've been wanting to do this. Angelique, take a look at, if you are serious about starting your own or making your own products, take a look at summit.livesoapschool.com. I'm an instructional designer by trade, so I build courses so people can learn. But I had a group of 13 other speakers that taught so much information in 2 days, and the surveys that we're getting back from all of our attendees are that it was life-changing. So if you're really serious about learning how to make your own products at home, take a look at those replays. You won't regret it. Missed the first part. There is always a replay. Always a replay. Angelique is saying it's sold in most stores and health food stores. Amazon also. Sylvia is giving us a round of applause. Would this be a great combo for cracked dry heels? You can also add, if you're making this yourself, for yourself, one thing you can add is some ground up pumice stones in there. Now that'll help, because pumice stones are what they use for giving a pedicure. But if you put that in your butter, it'll give you that same experience. Now it'll be a little bit grainy, but you're going to get a little bit more of that exfoliation on the back of your foot as you're using the butter. Thank you. Going to look for oils on your site. Awesome. We just got packages. Is our gifter in here? Yes. All of my speakers actually got a very special item from me as a thank you. And it's very appropriate for a soap summit. So yes, I hope you guys love them. Angelique is giving us that. You're serious? I'm telling you, head over there. Will do. Are you using fragrance oil or essential oil? This was a fragrance oil that I put in there. If you want to keep it 100% natural, you would use an essential oil or no scent at all. A fragrance oil is adding some additional components to it. So, but some scents you cannot get in a essential oil, like a lemon pound cake. There's no such plant that is a lemon pound cake, so I had to use that fragrance oil. You are welcome. That was about arrowroot powder. Someone asked where to find it. Got it. What color oils can we use? What other oils can we use? You can use any oils that you have. What I would say is research. What are those properties of those oils? Kim did a fantastic talk at the summit about the various butters, why you would use them, and all of that. So if you really want to learn to make your own, I would highly recommend that summit. But you can swap them out with whatever you have. Just understand what they do for your skin before making that decision. Hello. How do you make butters? Watch the replay, Tasha. We just did it. I'll be checking out that soap summit. Cool beans. All right, everyone. So that's about all. The last piece of information that I have is the Soap Live app. I also have an app. If you are interested in staying connected with me when we're not live, I also broadcast live in my app. It's available on both the Apple Store as well as the Google Android Store. So download Soap Live today and leave me a message right there in the chat. For all of you that are watching over at Stowe Rocks, I am so honored that you have allowed me to come in to your stream every Thursday. The new time will be 5:30, and you can go along with me and post. If you make what we make on here, post it right there under the video and let us know. Hashtag it. So much more than soap. I'm Zakia Ringgold of Live Soap School, telling you all to have a fantastic night, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.